Yo, what's up, me gente? Sabko Salam. That's hello to everyone in Urdu, and you guys are listening to Talks with Arabian Papi and Toeray.
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
What's going on? Good afternoon, everybody.
And we
Happy
back.
Sunday. We are back with another episode 9.
Yes, sir.
The 9th episode. Let's do it. How you guys are tuning in to Thoughts with Arabian Papi and Tory. I'm your co-host, Kevin, aka TheArabianPapi, alongside my other co-host, Tory. Tory, how we doing today?
I'm good, man. A little tired, but I'm good.
Yeah, it's long weekend, huh? It's
Yeah,
long weekend.
Yeah, I'm still trying to recover from last Saturday.
Right, yo, that 24-hour stream fucking last weekend went great. Yo, we appreciate everybody tuning in. We appreciate everybody donating, supporting.
For sure.
We made shit happen. We made it happen. We passed the goal. We hit the goal. So, really, guys, really appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Went over the goal, actually. Yeah, we were like 500 over the goal. It was nice.
Ooh, child, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
People came out.
So, guys, if you guys tuned into the last episode, we're just gonna recap a little bit about the Will Smith. So stories just released this week. Maybe it was a couple of days. Will Smith is actually banned 10 years from going back to the Oscars. 10 fucking years
10
for a slap, bro.
Yeah, bro. 10 years. 10 years. That's crazy, man. I mean, I can understand. I can understand it.
10 years though?
I think that's a little much. At least
10
I haven't
years?
seen anything about them taking away his Oscar. So
not yet, but I've heard that plenty of endorsements are pulling back now because of that. And it's crazy. And not only that, it's and it stresses me out because the reason why it stresses me out is because like a lot of I 100% agree with, people defending people and a woman always looking out for women and stuff like that. But she hasn't defended this man at all.
Yeah, I know she said seen something she was talking about saving it for the red table talking. Is that what you said last time? That she was going to save
but I think she came out, and from out of the rest, she came out and said he over exaggerated. I did not tell him to do all that. And it's like, bro, what? Like, this man just got dragged, just got banned from the Oscars, probably losing endorsement deals and stuff like that. Like, come on.
Stand by your
She don't love, man. I said it from the beginning. She just don't love Will, bro. She don't, leave, bro. Just leave, bro.
Man, get out of
the kids love you, man. It's all right. Just leave, bro. That's it. You guys, you guys are no longer relationship goals. You guys used to be. You guys are no longer after all this shit. Relationship goals.
I want that Jada in real love.
Even with Joyner, right? Even what Joyner said with the fucking, I'm trying to be serious, but none of these women remind me of Jada. And it's like after hearing that line, I'm like,
remind you of her,
right? I don't think you want her to remind you of Jada after the shit that she's done.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, but it's.
And yeah, man,
it's insane, bro.
What Guns was saying, man, there's artists, there's actors and actresses that have sexually assaulted and sexually harassed people that aren't banned. How are they still there? Y'all are
right. It's insane, man.
A slap, bro. People are
slap,
there's
bro.
Actors actually getting sexually assaulted, sexually harassed, raped, and you
and they worrying about a slap, bro. Yeah,
come on now.
And they're worrying about a slap, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous, man.
But that's our 2 cents about it. We had to talk about it. Today's podcast episode is actually called "Life in the Military." So we have Tory, who's comes from the military, and a friend of his who's also in the military currently. And we're just going to talk about the experiences they had in the military, and
one of my lifetime friends. They said when I joined the military, you make friends for a little bit, but then you'll meet some people you'll know for your life. He's one of them, man. So we're gonna pull.
And I think it's a and I think it's a topic that needs to be talked about because me, especially me, like I'm going to say this during the podcast, a couple of things. But a lot of people see things different when they look at from the outside and they don't actually know what's going on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So having this conversation hopefully brings to light a lot of shit and makes you think like, wow.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull him down.
Yeah, let's get him in here.
Guys, you already know, for anybody that's listening, we are live on Twitch if you're seeing this later on.
Yo.
and the YouTube video. We are live on Twitch. What's going on?
What's going on,
How we doing
Smalls?
today, Smalls?
Doing good. How y'all doing?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. Thank you. We appreciate you coming, being a guest in this podcast.
Well,
We
thank y'all. I
appreciate that.
appreciate y'all for having me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, without a
Good to talk
doubt,
to
without
you
a doubt. So let's start off, right? So this discussion, this topic we're gonna have is called life in the military. What part of the military are you in, Smalls?
I'm in the Air Force.
Okay, so alongside with Toeray in the Air Force, right? Now, Toeray, are you considered retired now, or are you still part of the Air Force?
I'm not retired. I'm separated.
Okay, what's the difference?
So retirement is you reach. It's like 20 years. I know some people have done like 15 years, but you've done a certain amount of time in the military, and they retire you. You've done so much that you get compensated, I guess, for that amount of time,
Okay.
So when you're retired, you still are getting paid by the military. You still like get a certain amount of payment for the rest of your life because you've done so much time. They kind of pay you back or whatever. When separated, you get out before that time. Basically, you do your contract, and as soon as that contract's up, you get out. That's what I did. I did 6 years, and then I got out.
Okay, and what about you, Smalls? How long have you been in the Air Force?
This will be year 7.
Year 7, and how much longer are you planning to do this, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay, so next year could be my last year. I'm trying to get into recruiting. If I get recruiting, I stay in. But if I don't, then I'm getting out.
Okay, getting into recruiting. What does that mean? Getting into recruiting. What is this exactly that you're trying to do?
Recruiting it's like the first phase of getting into like the military branch. It's like you go in, you meet with the recruiter.
Okay.
Take your ASVAB if you haven't taken it already.
Okay.
Go to NEPS, and you go over the list of jobs, and you could be waiting for a year or two, maybe even less. But people that they normally find out which job they go to, and then they ship out for BMT or basic training.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's a guy that makes all that happen. He'd be the dude that makes all that happen.
Okay. All right. Respect. So what made you guys get into the military? Like, what was your decision to join the military and pick the Air Force? And yeah, let's start off with that. What made you guys join the military?
The reason I joined is because I wanted to get out. Like I felt like I was, before I joined, I felt like I was like at like a standstill. I was working like 2-3 jobs at the time, man, and just didn't feel like I was going anywhere, right? And I was young, and I didn't really care for like college and school like that. So I was like, my parents joined, I don't know, get a little head start, on my life, gain a little bit of discipline or whatever. So I I joined the military. A lot of my people in my family aren't Air Force. So like I had Army in my family, Navy, a few Air Force, but every single one of them told me join the Air Force. If you're gonna join the Air Force. Don't go any other branch. The Air Force is gonna be the best one. And so that's why I joined the Air Force.
Okay, what about you, Smalls?
For me, I had just dropped out of college.
Okay.
And I get bored quickly. So I was like, I gotta have something that's gonna keep me steady, I guess. So originally I was gonna join the Army, but both of my folks are in the Army, and they were like, "Oh, you should go in the Air Force. You should go in the Air Force." So at the end of the day, I just flipped a coin on it and ended up landing on my head. So it was the Air Force, and that's what got me in.
Now, the reason why I ask is a follow-up question, okay? And so the follow-up question, and then I'm gonna say what I gotta say after the follow-up question is, what is the biggest misconception they have of people joining the military force? And now the reason why I say this is because I'm gonna sound very ignorant, but when I was younger, and this is actually before I got to meet people inside the force, in the military force, and actually talk to them and be friends with them, I always thought like people, when I heard people taking the military route, I'm like, man, that guy's a fucking loser. He probably has nothing going in his life, or he can't get nothing done, so that's why he's probably let's say yes. This was the very, very young me. This is very, very. This is how I thought, and a lot of people thought the same way with me. Like I guess the group of people I have around me thought the same thing. Like, oh, no, only losers and nerds join the fucking military, or people that don't got nothing going for their lives, because that's the only thing they got left. So that being said, what is the biggest misconception you think people have for people joining the military? Besides that, or maybe that is the biggest misconception. Maybe I did say it.
I'd say that's one of them. I'd say it's definitely one of them. Another big misconception, somebody said it in chat too. I think it's one of the biggest misconceptions is that the military, if you're in the military, you're rich. You get paid a whole bunch of money.
Right.
Bro, when I first joined, bro, my checks were probably like $800 each check. Like it wasn't that much at all. They don't get like, you can, and it's funny because you can look that up. You can look up what someone gets paid in the military, like their rank or their grade. Like you can look it up. I don't know. That's funny though.
Yeah, and I definitely have to agree on that because when I was working at Target, my first couple of years in the military, I got paid more than Target than so I definitely would say the pay for sure.
Yeah, man.
So did you guys like? They always say like they always make videos about it. Was there like any perks inside of the military? Like for example, there was like these videos. Oh, you joined the army, you're gonna get yourself a fucking Camaro. You're gonna get this and that and everything. Was there any truth behind that?
I would tell you, when you get on base, you will see a lot of them. I'm not gonna lie, you will see a lot of them. Some of them are not the young cats.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly the people that's been in for a while.
Yeah.
And they have theirs and they're all souped up.
Yeah. It's the higher, you'll see the higher ranking people that have those cars. And there will be those few that just got in. They get like those first couple checks and they go out and buy like a expensive car, but then they can't even like, cause like if you lived in like the dorms, like people in the army get so mad when I say dorms because they call it barracks, but we called it dorms. You know, it was just dorms.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll see like you didn't have to pay for like housing, right? So you're just chilling in this dorm. They'd get an expensive car, but they couldn't go do anything else because their entire check was going to that car. So it's like you can get it, but you're just like gonna drive it around base and get gas. That's it.
So they didn't offer you guys like any perks or any fucking things to try to persuade you guys and join in, or like, hey, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get that.
You can be offered like a sign-in bonus,
yeah,
a couple other incentives, but with the job that Tory and I had, we didn't get those perks.
Yeah, no. Like there's specific jobs you'll get a sign-on bonus for. It'll be like a certain amount, and you get like half of it up front, and then the rest like in your checks or something. I don't know exactly how it works because I didn't get a sign-on bonus, but yeah, there's something like that, and there's some recruiters will like hype up certain jobs. They'll hype it up, make it seem it's way more like cooler than it is. They'll definitely.
So you're telling me that Smalls eventually gonna be hyping up certain jobs?
That's not how I'm gonna do it.
No, he'll tell it like it is.
What was your expectations going into the military compared to what really happened?
I do want to go back really quick on when you said the misconceptions, because in chat, Zero brought up two really good ones too. He brought up two really good ones. Another two misconceptions. One is military has good health care. It's all right, but man, like I don't know, man. Like some of them seem like they do not care, man. Like they just do not care. Yeah, man. And
what was your experience with healthcare? If you guys got hurt, your back was hurting, or you was very sick, what was the process of going through that then?
First off, you got to figure out how you're going to get the time off of work to even go and get seen. And like they'd have to give it to you, but they wouldn't give you the time off easy. Like it wasn't like hey, I gotta go to the med group to go get this. I have this appointment. well, why didn't you make this appointment then? This here. Why didn't you make your appointments? Like, because they didn't have appointments at other times. This is when the appointment is available, and this is when I have to go. And it's like a whole thing, man. It's a whole thing, and I don't know, man. It was just so like when I was going to the med group for like my back, like to have my back seen, like the my PCM didn't even believe me.
Really?
She didn't even believe that my back was hurting. We were
Really?
carrying weapons and ammo and plates all day, standing up for 12 plus hours. Like, yeah, my back is hurting. Like, why do I have to prove it to you? Like, what else? How else am I supposed to prove it to you that my back hurts? It hurts. I need it to be seen. I need it to be fixed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about you? Have you had bad experience with healthcare, Smalls?
For me,
Yeah.
it's actually rare that I go see a doctor or anything like that. Even though I need to start going for like issues, but it's actually rare. I normally just don't go because it's actually hard to like get an appointment at a certain time or find a balance it with your work schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So me, I don't like going to base on my days off, so
Mm-hmm.
I try to stay away from it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do hear the stories for sure.
Yeah.
All
Another
right. So
misconception. Oh, go ahead.
now go ahead. With the other misconception
The
was
other
what?
one was he was saying that it's the military is family friendly, bro.
Ain't it like that? That's like one of the biggest
Bro.
things. Like when you hear your family, like your brothers and hoorah and
Yeah, the people
everything.
you work
and
with, they say it's family, but they're not family friendly as far as your family. As far
No?
as if you have a family, it's not easy for people who have families in the military at all. It's not easy, man. It's hard. Like if you can't find someone to watch your kids, like kind of stuff, they're like, oh well, you need to be at work, so figure it out. You know, not at least that's my experience from people I know at the bases I went to. You know, it could be different at different bases, but the bases I went to, I've had friends that are just like struggling to just find somebody to watch their kids, and if they can't find somebody, they still got to go to work, and they're like, I don't know, like what am I supposed to do? You know, and it shouldn't be that way, but it definitely
Okay.
is.
Do you feel, Smalls, that the military has been very family friendly to you?
All right, for me, I'm single, so I don't have no wife or kids. So I can't speak on that as much, but I've seen it really just depends on who your leadership is.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I will say it is very family friendly. Like you got a family emergency, if you have to take your wife to the airport, they will let you have the night off. Go do that.
That's good.
So it just depends on your location and your leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Ellsworth, uh, it's a little iffy. It depends on who you are, if they like you or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
So
man. Yeah, they definitely will. They definitely picked favorites at the base we were at before. They
So,
definitely picked favorites, man.
do you feel like it was more the family presence was more felt around your comrades than it was as a whole with leadership and those people included?
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially like going somewhere like South Dakota.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
your
That
friends,
definitely felt like family. That's where I met Smalls and Campbell and all these people, man. Being at Ellsworth, because a lot of us were like, we were minorities, you know, we were black, and it was not the friendliest place out there to us, man, at all.
Not,
it
not
was
South Dakota.
Not in South Dakota,
No, I
bro.
don't.
Like,
I wouldn't even expect it. Like South Dakota,
it's
Jesus.
not the friendliest place. And man, when you have like all of us together, like it was like you didn't have a choice but to like y'all were all you had out there. You were just it was us. We just had each other. That was it. Because the locals didn't like us. They didn't want nothing to do with us. So you know, we had each other. It was definitely a family out there. But when you go somewhere like I'm here, like at Panama City or somewhere where it's more diverse, it doesn't really feel like family that much.
And how crazy is that the locals didn't even make you feel like your family when you're like fighting for your country, like you're serving your country. How nuts is that? What?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's
also like being in South Dakota when you're like 19, 20, 21 and stuff.
yeah.
Like people that you work with on a day to day and your friends that you make out there, they're definitely gonna feel like family.
Mm-hmm.
Every day you guys are planning something for your days off or that
Yeah,
night.
facts. Every single
You
hey, we
spend
got these days off. What we doing? We going downtown. What's happening? Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So back to the first question I asked you. What was your expectations going into the military? What was your what was your mindset like?
Man, my mindset when I first joined was I'm staying in. I'm doing 20 years. I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna see the world. I'm gonna deploy, do all this stuff. And it slowly just, I don't know, that slowly started going away, man. It just
What about
slowly
you,
went
Smalls? Because
away.
apparently you wanna continue. You wanna keep going with this.
My expectation, I didn't really have any expectation. Like I said, both my folks are in the army, and I kind of just saw how they worked and how their career went. So I never heard of the Air Force until I joined. So I really didn't have any expectations for it at all. But
Okay.
really, I thought only thing I would say is I thought basic training would have been a little bit harder and more strict.
Mm-hmm.
For
Yeah, I
me,
did too. I did
uh,
too.
I personally had a lot of fun at basic training because I did a lot of stuff I wasn't supposed to, but it's all about not getting caught. So I didn't have expectations coming in.
The question was asked in chat, and I got a follow up question after that. If your parents were in the military, you guys would even think that thought would have crossed your mind to join, or them being part of the military inserted that
I'd say
thought, like okay, made it kind of a possible decision.
I'd say it kind of influenced me. It if my parents weren't in, like if I didn't have family in the military, I probably wouldn't even thought twice about it, about joining. I would have just, I don't know, probably done something else.
What
Uh,
about
For
you,
me,
Smalls?
for me, no, I went to school first. I went to school for a
mhm.
little bit. Um, it just wasn't. I didn't like the general classes, so I was like, school isn't for me. Dropped out,
Right.
ended up getting my degree anyway. So
Now, the follow up question is: did you guys receive any type of slack for having parents in the military force? Like for example, Tori, like your parents were known. I'm not saying like known, but they were part of the Air Force. So did you get any slack? Like,
What
yeah,
do you
my
mean?
parents in the Air Force. Like any
Like
slack and maybe training
no,
or
man,
number
no, no.
hand or
I mean, the military is a small world, but like, I think the only way you'd kind of get some sex is my parents weren't like super high up there. Like my mom was kind of up there in the rank, but I didn't go to any like the same bases as them, so nobody like the bases I went to, the people they didn't know like my parents like that. The only way they would know if my parents were in the military is if they asked me and I told them. That's the
okay.
only way they would know. Uh, it just depends, I guess, who your parents are, what rank they are. I don't know anybody that has like a general for a dad or mom. So maybe maybe they do get some slack if your dad's like a general or something, and or your mom's a general, and they got some pull that can get you to certain bases and get you certain assignments.
Okay. What about you, Smalls?
no, both of my parents were in the army. If I would have joined the army, maybe. My dad wasn't like high up there in ranks, but he definitely had connections. So maybe if I was in the army, but as
Mhm.
far as the Air Force, no, I've seen it. There's guys that's like, oh, my dad used to be a captain or a colonel. He knows this person that's in charge now. I'm just gonna rely on this for this award.
Mhm.
So seen it.
Now you joining the Air Force and your parents being in the army, I'm assuming you've told people that in the military, yeah, my parents in the army. Did they ever give you some shit? Because you guys like got like some like inner beef, like some fake inner beef where fucking Air Force hates army, or Marines think they're the better ones, and then the navies or this and that. And
No, I didn't get any because my folks told me to join the Air Force. They're like, go Air
Mhm.
Force, go Air Force. The inner beef, I don't know. It's really jokes because like
Yeah.
you do a TDY with them and you
Mhm.
hang out with them. It's not that way.
Yeah, it's kind of like
It's
one of
only
those
that
like
way on
with
the
your family. It's kind of like this is like only we can make fun of each other, you know? If somebody else makes fun of them, then we hop on them, kind of thing.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. So you guys being minorities, were there any type of racism you guys dealt with that you didn't think you were going to deal with being inside the military force? Like, this is the military, so I don't think I'm gonna deal with any type of racism. It shouldn't be any type of racism. Like, you guys already said the fucking locals didn't like you, which blows my mind. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? So speak about your experience of racism in the military, if you guys received any.
I'd say so. Yeah, I've experienced some really bad racism when I got out here at Tyndall. It was like subtle racism out in South Dakota with some people. Like it's the subtle stuff. It's the real subtle stuff that you wouldn't understand unless you were like you grew up a minority. You know, like the real subtle sly shit people say and just the sly shit that happens. But like to speak on what happened out here, like I think it was like my first month at Tyndall. I was sitting, we were like, I was with Smalls. I was with a couple other black dudes. We were just hanging out. We were at guard mount. We were at guard mount. It's like, it's what you do before we post out and go and, work. We come together and like brief on what was happening, what happened yesterday, what's going to happen, what to look for today, whatever. But we were just hanging out, just sitting in the guard mount room, just chilling. And this tech sergeant walks over, man. And he's like, this white dude, he walks over, he's like, man, I thought you guys hated segregation because we were all just sitting there in one spot of the room just talking to us. And we were like, bro, what the fuck? Like, who the fuck are you? Like, he's like, I thought you hated segregation. You're all separate from everybody. And it was like, bro, like, it's like, shut up, dog. Like, nobody was even thinking like that. Like, now you just made it racist when it wasn't even like that. Like, I mean, that was a big one on that one, man.
Yeah, for me, I can't really say that I have, because I don't really pay attention to people. I kind of just do my thing.
Yeah.
If you hit me up, I'm like, yeah, let's go out, blah blah blah, do whatever. I'm always like just with my friends, so I don't really pay attention to other people. But I definitely can say I've witnessed other people's go through it. I witnessed other people go through it for sure, and then yeah, there was a time in South Dakota, guy named Reels. He went through it.
Yeah, you did. Reels, he was he's Turkish and black.
Yeah, black and Turkish. Yeah, so
and you, as you know, like, or as you may know, like the military, a lot of people in the military, they hate, a lot of them really dislike or hate like Middle Eastern, like Arabian, fucking Turkish, anything, like, and it's just I'm sure he went through some crazy.
Have you guys ever tried to stand up for people that's happening to? Or do you guys just let it slide? And you know how like the police, they have the blue code, they don't speak bad against their own brothers. They try to handle it internally or whatever the case is like that. Or have you guys ever been like, yo, bro, chill, like you're going way too far. Relax.
When I see it, yeah. If I see it, I'll say something. It doesn't happen when it happens, it's real sly. Somebody when it happens, they're gonna be real sly about it, like they're not gonna do it in front of somebody that they think is gonna say something about it. It's a lot of it'll happen. It's subtle. It's real subtle stuff,
For me, like if I see it or witness it, I will speak up, but I also give like the person that is affecting the chance to do it, because I don't want to step on their toes, and they might want to come forward and handle it themselves. So I don't want to. I wait to see what they're going to do.
Now, if you guys ever done it, were there any consequences that followed after that? Like you stand up for somebody and be like, I got you. Tomorrow you're gonna be running 30 laps. You're gonna do like 100 suicides.
No, for me, I know my regs and rules, so it's hard to mess with me. It's really,
it can backfire on you. It can backfire, but That's why it's so important for if you're watching and you're in the military or you're thinking about joining. I cannot stress this enough. It is so important to know your regs, the regulations, the AFI. It is so important to know the rules because if you don't know the rules, if you're ignorant to the rules of the military, you can be manipulated and taken advantage of by leadership and different. Like you got to know the rules or regulations. You got to know all of that. So people can't mess with you because when someone's trying to mess with you and you pull up a reg showing them that they're wrong or showing them that they can't do this to you, they can't touch you, man. They can't touch you. It makes it harder for them, and they'll just stay out of your way. It's so important. It's so important. Know your regs.
So, is there a lot of that? Like, do they try to take advantage a lot of times?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Oh yeah.
If you don't know it, you can't say it's wrong.
Yeah.
What are some examples they try to take advantage of? Like, what did we try to do that you be like, whoa, no, bro, that's not how we do it.
All right, so when I first got in, now my hair used to always be out of regs. I knew the regs, like the back of that reg, like the back of my hand, because it was always out of regs. But when I finally did start cutting my hair and keeping it within regs, there will be people that tell me to cut my hair and it's in regs. And I'll be like, at the time it was an inch and a half in bulk. It can't exceed an inch and a half in bulk. It can't touch your ears. It must be groomed nice and clean. That's what it was at the time. Now it's changed a little bit, but back then they used to be like, "Oh, you look like you need a haircut," and I'm like, "Nah, I'm within regs," and I stayed out the regs, and then they can't say nothing to me.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting regs as well. Like, to be considered AWOL, you have to be missing for 72 hours, and it has to be exactly 72 hours. So if you come back on 71 hours and 59 minutes, it's misinformation.
So you didn't go
Interesting.
AWOL. I actually didn't know that one. I actually didn't know that one at all.
Yeah, I didn't know about that either. So you're good if you miss a day. It was considered just a no code, no show.
You're not good. You're not AWOL, but you're not good.
Yeah, you just gonna get a misinformation. Now you still gonna get in trouble, but it won't be as bad as AWOL.
Yeah, because AWOL, like that's like jail time and stuff like
that. Yeah, without a doubt. Okay. So, what is one thing you believe should change in the military that you feel like something has to get adjusted or addressed?
I think leadership needs to be under a smaller microscope. They need to stop just promoting anybody. I think a lot of the wrong people are getting promoted, man. That's what I think. I think that they need to pay attention to leadership and pay attention to who they have in charge, like because there's some leadership that just does not belong there. You got leadership that's only looking out for themselves. Well, I think Smalls disconnected or something.
He may have froze. Yeah, he may have froze.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, like someone said in chat, man, the bad ones get promoted, and the good leadership gets out because they just don't want to deal with that anymore. They don't want to deal with the shit they have to deal with anymore.
You think some of them abuse their power? You let the power get to their head.
Then they only do stuff that his Wi-Fi went out. He's loading back up.
Oh shit, guys! You see, we did this episode, and now we getting talking. Now, yo, if you see agents and shit putting behind me, bro, just warn me, all right? Just
they
make sure you tell the brother in the chat.
Yeah, but they just. What was I saying? What was your question again?
That some people let the power get to their head.
Yeah.
How
man.
they only do shit benefiting them.
It goes straight to their head, man. Because like there was one dude back at Ellsworth where he was like 24 years old, 23 or 24 years old. I was 25 at the time, but I had joined later than him. So he was a higher rank than me. He was a staff sergeant at the time. I was like a I was a senior airman or whatever. And we were just hanging out. We were not hanging out. We were posted together, so we were driving around base,
Mhm.
and he wanted to tell me something. He was like, "All right, look, kid." And I looked at him. I was like, don't call me kid." I was like, "I understand, like, you're staff sergeant or whatever, and I'll respect your rank. I'm not gonna respect you as a person until you earn that. But don't call me kid because I'm older than you.
Yeah,
You can either
yeah,
call me by my name,
I feel that.
like, don't call me kid. Don't do that." Well, I'm a
I'm
staff
guilty.
sergeant. I can do that. I was like, "No, you fucking can't. I'm telling you right now, you can't." So, like, what are we gonna
Yeah,
do about this situation? I'm telling you, you can't right now. If you want to take this higher up, we can. But like, like,
I'm guilty of that, and in my line of business, I've done that quite a few times. All right, to like older people, all right, kid, come on, let's do this. And it's like it's fucked up. It's like they're older than you. They're not a kid. We're old men here.
and then, like,
You know
it'd
what
be
I'm saying?
different. Like, if we were closer, I just know it's like whatever. You just being whatever. But like, we weren't close. I don't know you like
But
that.
right,
Like,
exactly.
don't call me kid. I don't know. It was just, but yeah, the leadership. I mean, the power really does get to a lot of people's head. You got leadership that will. I don't know. I think it's bad leadership when everything you do is like you're only looking out for yourself and not for your troops and people that you're. I understand you got to look out for yourself too, but you also are in charge of these people, these lower ranks. You're in charge of these people. These are your troops. So
Exactly.
you can't just be doing everything. Like, you can't just do everything just for yourself. I don't know.
And it applies to like what your sweater says, life, right? It applies to life. Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand, man. For any type of business or team or anything to work, probably all starts with leadership. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're only good as your team.
Yeah.
So if you're mistreating your team is not going to want to do things for you. So
Yeah.
guess what? You guys are not going to get that much progress. You guys are not going to get that much done.
Facts. Because like I've had
You know what I'm saying?
supervisors that were just so good. They were just so good. They were such a good supervisor. It was like I want to go out of my way to make sure I can also make my
Right.
supervisor look good because they're such a good supervisor. They've been looking out for me. I want to look out for them too.
Yeah,
But then I've
without a
also
doubt.
had supervisors that aren't good, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything to help you. I'm just gonna do my job exactly what I'm supposed to do, and I'm only gonna look out for myself.
And you know, and that's what I tell to my team also in the construction business, right? The team of group of guys I look for. I was like, yo, we a team, man.
Mm-hmm.
The only way we're gonna make money is we work together. We're here to make money and go home. We gotta work together, right? So like, yo, I tell them all the time, I say, yo, we take care of you guys, right? If you guys come in late or if you guys gotta leave a little early, by our contract, I'm supposed to dock you. Whether or not you like it, I'm supposed to dock you, but we don't. All right, because we appreciate you guys working for us and we appreciate the things you guys do.
Mm-hmm.
But when there's certain situations when I say, hey, today we got to hustle a little bit or today we got to give a little bit more, please do me that favor because in the other end, I'm looking out for you too. And that's how we're only going to get better.
And you're
we're going to get shit done.
Words too, the key words, we, not you guys need to do this and you need to do this. It's we.
No, absolutely not. That's
you in there with them.
Yeah, that's what I tell them. I say, yo, maybe, I know today we might have to cut a little break short because I need to hit this deadline, so I need you guys to help me out. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, but then in the back end, like I said, when they show up a little later, they leave a little early. Nah, don't worry about it. Go handle it. Do your thing, baby.
Yeah, what you gotta do.
You know what I'm saying? But you also gotta, if you're gonna take, you gotta give a little bit. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. And people are gonna
want to
help more.
Yeah. So we're gonna ask a question that was in the chat while we wait for Smalls to come back. They go, so I'm curious, would you be in support of a mandatory service type of program where everyone has to participate for a certain amount of time?
I think so, yeah. I would. Oh man, that's a tough one because the military definitely changed me and it made me better, made me a little more disciplined, it matured me. But it's not for everybody.
It definitely wasn't for me.
It's not for everybody.
I keep that 100.
I don't know. I think I think like the work ethic everywhere, I don't know, man. I think that if everybody had to serve 4 years in the military, I think we might be in a better place. If everybody served at
4
least 4 years.
years?
Yeah, 4 years.
Ooh,
That's the shortest contract right there. It's the shortest enlistment. 4 years.
That's
It's not that
stiff,
long.
bro.
It's
Not that long, bro. That's 4 years.
It's not that long. And maybe
I say it. Maybe a year.
Nah, it's gonna take more than a year. It's gonna take more than a
Yeah?
year. Yeah, because most of that year we spent training. Because you'll go through basic training and then you'll go to your tech school after your basic training, and by the time that's over, your year's almost up, and all you did was train. You didn't really learn much. You know, there's a lot of
Damn.
like discipline you gain, and they teach a lot of like leadership skills that some of these leaders just didn't pick up. But I think 4 years, because that's enough time to really I let it all soak in, you know?
So
Because for the
what,
most part, the military it is a family for the most part, the people you're with, and it doesn't matter it doesn't matter like with your background, where you came from, you're all here with the same goal, you know? It definitely changes a lot.
so when will those 4 years start? Like right after high school?
I don't know.
Or
That's a
should it
good
be like a
point.
or should it be like a program while in high school? Maybe like the summers you go and I don't.
I no, I don't know if it'd be like in the summers. I think it'd have to be 4 consecutive years, you know? 4 consecutive years and just do it. And then you get the same benefits everybody gets. So say if it was mandatory, you get straight out of high school, right? You have to do 4 years in the branch of your choosing. So now you are getting you're getting your college paid for, so you can do your schooling within those 4 years, you know. Um Healthcare is paid for. It's not the best healthcare, but it's healthcare. Um and you're being taught like some good life skills. You're being taught some good life lessons. You know, just being a part of something, I guess, bigger than you. But you already are.
Okay.
You already do that, so it's like it's different. I guess it's a different feeling for you because you're in a job that you're working on something bigger than just yourself. You know, you're building skyscrapers and shit. You're helping putting those shit,
Yeah.
putting them together. That's big. So
Okay. So let's talk about what is your worst experience you had in the military.
oh, my worst experience.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'd say my worst experience is when my brother had passed away. Not a friend that was like a brother to me passed away. Um, I had a PT test at the time, and I had failed it because I was just not in the right headset. I was not headset not in the right headspace, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And after I failed it, man, like I got outcasted, bro, immediately. It was like I didn't know how to do my job. People treated me like I didn't know anything because I didn't run this mile and a half I didn't run this mile and a half in the allotted time. You know, I'm still doing my job perfectly how I'm
Right.
supposed to be done, but I didn't run fast enough just because I wasn't in the right headspace. I got treated like an outcast, like I was just like shunned by everybody, like, and it was bad, man. It was like people just I don't know, like you get treated differently. You know, you don't like you just don't know what you're doing. You get treated. I don't even know how to like put it into the right words. You just get treated like,
That's fucked up.
yeah, because I didn't run fast enough. All of a sudden, you know, I'm not able to do my job. I'm being posted at the gate every single day, 24/7. You know, not 24/7, but every single day, 12 hours a day, just because I didn't run fast enough.
That was a
Like,
consequence for you. That was like that
yeah,
was the way
man.
for them to outcast you.
That was some of those consequences. Being put at the gate, especially in South Dakota, because if you worked mornings and you were at the gate, the gates were busy in the mornings, man. And say it doesn't matter what the weather is, people still need to come into the base. You still need to guard the base and make sure nobody that isn't authorized doesn't comes in. So you're sitting out there in like -20-degree weather with your cold weather gear, and you got that's not enough. It's snowing outside, and you're just out there checking IDs.
Oh
And
no!
like no brakes, because you got the cars just keep rolling in, and you have 2 or 3 people at the gate, but there's so many cars, you all are out there checking the IDs, making sure it goes through. And we would swap out here and there, but if it was too busy, we couldn't swap out. You had to just sit there and just all be out there.
So I want you to give a brief description of what was your job like, and what you had to do while you were
Oh, okay.
in the military.
So
while you do that, I'm gonna be right back. I fucked up again, guys. I forgot the code right over there. I just need to get the code for the hookah. I apologize if this again. So he's gonna give a brief description. I'll be right back. Do it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I was security forces. Basically it's a military cop. My job was to stand at the gates, make sure, check IDs, make sure anybody that comes on is authorized. If they're not authorized, you turn them away until they can be, they are authorized. So they, until they are allowed to get on base. We would patrol the base. Basically, that's like the law enforcement side, patrol the base. Basically, we would do everything that a police officer does, just we do it on base. And we would also, there was a security side of it where we would sit on the flight line and sit in cars and watch the plane sit there and make sure nobody messed with the planes, make sure nobody got on the airfield, and that wasn't supposed to be on the airfield, make sure nobody was taking photos, because there was like a museum outside of Ellsworth, and civilians would come out and they would come and try to like take photos of stuff, or somebody would come from some area and want to take photos and stuff, and you're like, no, we can't let them do that because it's and
then a lot of people tried to like get on the airfield and stuff like that. Like they would try to test the waters.
Not really like civilians, they wouldn't, because like the airfield is so far back in the base, right? There would be like in Ellsworth, it was like forest all around, so somebody could come from some other side and try to get on the airfield. The main people that would try to get on the airfield are like other military individuals that have no reason to be there. Like say like there was somebody from like finance that was trying to get on the airfield. It's like, what are you doing here? You don't have like, it's a restricted area badge. You have to have like a badge to be on there. It's like, you don't have a badge. Like, why are you here on the airfield? You're not authorized to be here, kind of thing. It'd be a whole thing. It'd be a whole thing. Because there's different. It's like it's just like you'd have to challenge them, and it's when you're challenging somebody that's in a restricted area that's not supposed to be there, that's guns drawn on them. Don't move,
yeah. Have you ever had to draw a gun on somebody?
Yeah, I've had to. We've had to
draw. Freeze!
Like, yeah, it's like hands up. You challenge them, turn away, make them look. It's the whole thing. It's just if you're not supposed to be in a restricted area, don't be there.
Did you yellow freeze? Let me see your hands. Don't move.
No,
get on the ground.
Yeah, it's not. I would never really say freeze. It was just like don't move, don't move, don't move. Like like, and just challenge them basically telling them exactly what you want them to do. Put your hands up. Don't look this way. Look to your right. Spread your feet this way, this far apart. When I tell you to, start moving back towards me. Like start stuff like that.
What was the whole point of having? What was the whole point of having to spread their feet? Because it sounds like you get a little freaky now.
So
spread your feet and hands.
The main reason, a little like for like law enforcement, the main reason. Oh, he said he's back, but here, let me get him to join.
Let's see. I apologize. A little technical difficulties. All right, there we go. He's back in there. We're gonna get him back in, guys. We appreciate the patience.
But yeah, so I was saying the main reason. Welcome back, Smalls.
Welcome back.
The main reason.
Big brother got us. Big brother got you, bro. Big brother got you.
For challenging somebody and making them spread their feet, and the main reason is the main goal is to put them in the most uncomfortable position to where they can't get up and run away. You want to get them in like basically the most uncomfortable position before you have them in handcuffs. Because if they're comfortable, then they can easily just start running. And I'll say it now, even from like doing like exercises and training on base, bro. Don't
Mm.
make us run. Do not. If you make an officer run, when you get caught, it's going to be the worst experience of your life. Because when you make an officer run with all that gear on, we're already mad, bro. You just made me run and chase after you with all this gear on. I'm tired as hell. When I catch you, it's not gonna
It
be
ain't
good,
gonna be
bro. I'm
pretty.
gonna put you on,
So,
make you uncomfortable. I'm not gonna abuse you, but I'm gonna do everything within the regs and within what I'm supposed to do to make it uncomfortable. You know?
so just a double back of officers not like chasing and running, and it's kind of true. This is something I seen in firsthand experience, so it's a story time. Uh, when I was graduating high school, I was doing this program to get into construction. So, and this program we had to work like in a month in the summer for free, right? So they was making us go into this building. I think we were gonna like build fences or whatever the case was. So it was like 6 a.m. I just got off the train station, right? It's local streets. And I'm walking to the destination, and I see this car just turn the corner, speeding, turn the corner. Go, I freeze for a moment. I'm like, oh shit! Like, what the fuck is going on? A cop car's behind them, chasing them. Then I'm like, oh shit, some crazy shit going on. Then the same car, like literally a minute later, comes back the opposite way. Now there's 2 cars chasing him. Turns around a couple of corners, and he comes back towards me again. Now he got like 3 cops chasing him. Like this man was like in a Toyota RAV4 or whatever, dodging these cops, like busting U-turns and look like he wasn't in the highway. He was busting these U-turns in local streets. The 3 cop cars would bust the same U-turn, and I'm thinking like, yo, why one of you guys just don't cut him off? But anyways, they had these dudes chasing them for a hot 10 minutes, 6 a.m. I keep walking. They disappear for a little bit. I keep walking, and I turn a few corners, and I finally see the 3 cop cars. The car stopped, and then they got the guy on the ground, right? I'm not saying this was right, but they got him on the ground in an uncomfortable position, and I kind of like beating his ass, just saying, stop resisting arrest. Just beating it. Stop resisting arrest. Stop resisting. I'm like, oh man. So I go to my destination, and 5 minutes later, some other dude comes by and he's like, yo, the cops over there beating somebody up. And I'm like, God damn, they still beating his ass? Like, they were really pissed at.
Yeah.
And, yo, they made him chase him for like 6 a.m. around these local streets.
That's the thing, man. Like with all these videos, like with just like the way the cops handle like handcuffing somebody, you don't gotta hit them and beat them up, man.
Right,
Like,
I'm not saying it was right. I was
like,
just saying,
say you
yeah,
got
I hear
somebody
you.
on the ground. The easiest way to get somebody to stop resisting is put your knee in the back of their calf. Have you ever had a knee in the back of your calf before? That shit hurts.
Nah.
That's all you got to do is put it some kind of pressure point, and then when they stop resisting, you're like, okay, yo, we good now. You're done. You know, like I don't know. I don't know. But yeah.
So Smalls, basically, why you were gone. So I asked Tory a question, which I'm asking you too. What was the worst experience you had in the military?
Oh, being
in the Air
tased.
Force? Being tased.
Oh.
Damn, what the fuck they tased you for?
We did have to get
Oh,
tased. You just have to. So we would
You didn't
carry around
have
if you
to.
carried. Oh yeah, you didn't have to. Before back in the day, you
Yeah.
did have to. Like if you carry a taser or like OC spray, like pepper spray, they want you to know what it would be like if somebody got a hold of it and did it to you. How you would react to it, you know?
Yeah, so you will be able to fight it in court.
Yeah, you better fight it. You can say, I've been tased before. This is why I used it. This is, you got.
Oh, it's like for insurance purposes.
Yeah, kind of. Like,
Uh,
I guess not really insurance, but like.
it's more like
Not like insurance
cover
purpose,
yourself.
but it's like something to back yourself if
So,
ever
like,
get brought
yeah.
up in court. Yeah, be like, yeah.
Like an example,
so I've been.
if I have my taser out, say somebody hits me, my taser gets knocked out, he grabs my taser, I pull out my gun and I shoot him. They'll be like, well, why did you do that? Okay, well, I've been tased before in my training. If I would have gotten tased, my body would have locked up. That's how my body reacted to tasing. So I didn't, my life would have been in danger. So I pulled out my gun to, protect myself.
Okay. Now, when you
Kinda
guys
thing
got
like that.
tased, did you eat that shit or you guys like dropped to the floor?
Well,
I
they
dropped
carried
to
you
the
to the
floor.
floor too, right? Yeah, like they
Yeah,
carry
they
you
got
to the
you.
floor because that shit is no joke. I don't care who you
Yeah.
are, how tough you think you are, bro. Get tased and see what happens.
Nah,
bro.
I'm good. I'm
Don't-
good. I'm
Yeah,
good.
bro. Because the way the taser works, man, like the prongs, the lightning travels through both prongs, you know? So if the prong is like here on this top of your back and the other prong is like down here, like at the lower of your leg, you're getting a surge of electricity through your entire body and you're just locked up in this, man. And it's the longest 5 seconds of your life.
Yeah, it felt like
Is
5 decades.
Yeah, man.
damn. Is there a certain part of the body you guys try to aim for when you're tasing someone?
At the waist.
Yeah, around the waist, because you don't want it to go in their head.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the prongs when they come
I
out, they
hope
go like
not.
that. They like spread out when they go. So you have to aim it at a certain point. Because if you aim it like at their center mass or chest, the prong might end up in their eye or their forehead or something, and now you're in trouble because of how they landed in them.
Okay. So, Smalls, give a little bit description of your job in the Air Force. What was your job like?
It's basically, it's like, I want to say that 3 phases of it, honestly, or 3 different sections.
Yeah.
So, if you're just getting in, or you're not a certain rank, you're mostly going to be at the gates or on a security patrol, and that's just no. Most time it's just being on the flight line, make sure all the access are secured, and then the last part is LE, and that's where you're patrolling around the base, uh, giving tickets, citations, or responding to like a loud noise complaint or theft at the shop at, and that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had to
But
draw your gun on somebody?
yes, actually, when I was at Tyndall.
Yeah. Did you do
Yeah.
freeze? Oh, how did that moment go?
So if you know me, like I kind of play stuff like cool. Like I don't get too
Give you
hyped up about.
opportunity. He's
Yeah,
de-escalate like we were trained to do, not escalate.
I don't get
Yeah.
too hyped up about like my job. So it was myself and a couple other people there. They're all like, honestly, I understood why the man was the way he was, but they were all like hyped up because he had a knife or whatever, and I'm just like, all right, he got a knife. No big deal. I was like, he's in the car, just sitting there. He just wants to go home. I understand why he's acting like this, but
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I just played it cool. I stayed back. And when he finally pulled out the knife, I just drew my weapon. I was like, hey, dropped the weapon. I was like, nothing's gonna happen to you. I was like, you're a civilian. I was like, I was like, we just gonna take you in and then take you in, get a statement and stuff like that, and send you about your day.
Okay. Okay.
That's literally what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But all he
You was in
wanted
a
to do was go home. That's it.
man. My man, thought you want to go home, please.
Yeah, like his wife wouldn't take him home, so he was in the car acting a fool. I was like, I understand, bro. I want to go home. I'm gonna do the same.
I don't know if I'm gonna pull out a knife, but yeah, I hear you. I get you 100%. So, what was the crazy experience you guys had in the military?
The craziest? I'd say the
Yeah.
craziest. I think you were there, Smalls, is that when we were going they were going to the search gate and this dude hopped the search gate fence, and keep in mind it was Ellsworth. The search gate, that's a big fence, man. That's not like some little fence you see in somebody's yard. Like the fence is high. This
Mhm.
dude climbs the fence, runs over, talking about, I have important information I need to give to your leadership now. You know, like ran over, pointing him. He left his car at the front of the gate. So like he got out of his car, jumped the gate, came over, guns drawn. I have some important information we need to get now. Like we're like, okay, it's like, okay, all right. You know, relax. We're gonna bring you inside, whatever. You know, we gotta do the search or whatever. Put him in the like the waiting area where the trucks, like the truck drivers go when we're searching the trucks. Dude takes off all his clothes.
What?
He took off every single piece of clothing he had. He was like, I
He was
already know
just
how
there
the
naked.
he was like, I know how the search works. And you're like, you didn't have to like
He
you
got
didn't have to
naked,
take
naked.
off. You had to take off all your clothes. Like this was an all day thing too, man. Like so after we get his clothes back on, do the search, we still have him there. Obviously, he left his car at the front of the gate. So now we gotta get K9 out to go make sure there's nothing going on over there.
Yeah, like it's not a
And
bomb and
yeah, it's
shit,
not a
something like
bomb or
that.
something. And the tell when when the dog finds something, the dog sits, right? Like the dog will smell something and sit. So I remember
Interesting.
we were like over by the gate. Our K9 guy was over there searching, and we were all looking, and the dog sat, and all you see
Oh,
is a K9 dude take off running. He's like, go, 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 the dog, bro, go, go. Bro, it was
He
the
left the dog
scariest.
behind?
Huh?
He left the dog behind?
I mean, the dog, that's what the dog was supposed to do, is sit.
But wasn't it,
You
ain't the
know,
dog
like-
supposed to run too? Like,
Well, yeah, the dog came with him, but he
Oh, okay,
he let
okay,
go.
okay,
He let
okay.
go of the leash. He was going. And he's yelling,
Okay,
go,
okay.
go, go, go. And I'm thinking, oh my God, bro, this car is about to fucking blow up. This car's about to blow up, man. Like, I was like, this is crazy. We had EOD. It was a whole day thing. Turned out, dude was just high, and he had fireworks in his car.
oh
And it was
shit.
an all-day thing, man. Searchgate was like closed that whole time. It was a wild-ass day.
Yeah, I think I was on swings at that time.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, it was...
If I was there and dude would have got butt naked, you know I would have had some jokes.
yeah.
No, that's some jokes. So,
Yeah.
So then
man.
tell me the crazy experience you experienced in the military then.
all right, so this actually happened like a couple of weeks ago. I'm on a patrol at Lackland. There's like a main side base, and then it's like the training side. So I'm on the main side, just doing my thing, and all I hear over the radio is it was K9 actually. All I heard over the radio was K9 was like, "Yeah, we just had a vehicle flying from our outbound, hit the ballers, and vehicle landed on top of our patrol car." That's all I heard. So
Damn.
come to find out, dude was drunk out of his mind. That's the only reason why he really survived the crash, is because he was so drunk. And he was
Damn.
drunk out of his mind. And the car was our patrol car. Like the front windshield shattered, front dash banged up. But all you see is this little Fiat on sitting on top of it.
My man had a Fiat. Wow, that's insane.
Oh, my
He's sitting
God.
on top of it. So
That's insane. So somebody in chat asks, what are some of the risks involved with people in the restricted area? Why you have to draw your weapon?
We have to draw our weapons when people who aren't authorized in a restricted area, because honestly, I think, let's not even say I think, some of the resources the military has, they value more than like somebody's life, I guess is a way to put it. It's like our job is to protect this resource that we have at all costs, you know? And like, say if like it's like a nuke base and somebody's in a restricted area and they're, you know, it's you know, if somebody
It's like,
has the
yeah,
has the
right.
capability to set this nuke off or mess with the nuke, would you rather them set that nuke off? Would you rather them be dead? What would you rather
Right.
do, you know?
um you don't always have to, like, you can challenge them, you don't have to draw your weapon on them in a restricted area. But it's more of like
Deterrence.
not really a deterrence, but it's like you don't know who that person is or what
Mhm.
they have on them. So they might have a bomb on them, or they might have the keys to one of the planes and end up hijacking it and then go cause trouble. So like it's a restricted area for a reason. There's markings. Like me, I say a lot of people pretend like they don't have common sense, and it drives me up the wall.
Yeah,
But
facts.
you tell them you don't see this red line on the ground. You don't see
Right.
that thousand
I didn't
signs
see it.
posted.
I didn't know that sign was there said you can't be here, restricted area.
Yeah. And it's like, so people like to act like they don't have common sense, but it's like, if you're allowed in the restricted area, you already know the rules to the restricted area and
Mhm.
how to properly
Mhm.
gain access. And then it's just the others that pretend like they don't have common sense. Like, I'm not going nowhere and like, oh, you know, it's a red line with a sign that says danger. I could get shot. Oh, I'm gonna step over it.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not gonna do nothing like that. I'm gonna,
Right.
hey, let's go ahead and get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't, whatever's over there, I don't need to see it.
So you guys never had to beat somebody ass hand-to-hand combat?
No, I've never had to fight somebody hand to hand combat. Not military. Not because of not on job. No, I've never had to fight somebody.
It didn't have to, but we used to have a fight club on one of
Yeah,
my
y'all
flights.
did.
So
What happens in Fight Club stays in Fight Club.
I'm not there no more. So but yeah, we used to have a fight club on one fight. And then, I mean, you would take, I guess, when they do Red Man with us, but that's pretty
Yeah,
much it.
that was just like, and Red Man is like, you're just basically this person in this big, like, I guess a suit made out of like yoga mats kind of thing. And you would basically fight him and try to get him to the ground as if he was somebody that was some suspect, I guess, is not cooperating. So you
Yeah,
would,
they always pick the biggest dude for it,
yeah.
too.
Damn. Man, they wanted you guys to work for it.
Yeah, man. Like
That's what it is.
when I was going through basic training, we were going through like combatives, or not basic, it was tech school. And we were going like through combatives, man. Those instructors were beating our ass, man.
Yeah.
Big instructors. We had this one instructor, bro. He big dude. He was I don't know why he did it, bro, but it was one of the girls that were that was on my tech school team, bro. They were doing the Red Man, whatever. Bro, he came up, ran, did a flying knee and knocked her out.
Oof.
Bro,
Damn.
doing
Gotta
too
protect
much.
the face.
Doing too much.
My instructor, he was trying to, but he couldn't get a hit on me. So he ended up jumping. He ended up jumping the other person that was in the ring with me. And like, you just gonna let him get jumped? I was like, hey, he can't be mad because he can't get a hit.
Do women get it a little easier in the basic training and all that kind of stuff there, or it's pretty much all the
Nope,
same?
it's all the same, man. They get the
In basic
same.
training, yeah,
It's the
they
same
they, they
treatment.
get it the same
Yeah.
because they got a female drill instructor. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Somebody asks, in movies like Jarhead, when people get this face slammed in walls and stuff like that, is that exaggerated? Or does that really go down?
Get their
it's
face.
exaggerated.
They get their face
It,
slammed in walls. What do you mean? What do
that's
you
I
not
don't know.
like taking somebody's head and slamming it into the
I
wall?
guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
No, that's definitely. I think that's definitely exaggerated. I've never
auto locker counseling, but
slammed somebody's head.
it's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, like we've
That's
sparred
like
and stuff, and like it's more of like when we're sparring, it's more of like locks and stuff. You're never really like throwing punches. At least I never threw any punches or had punches thrown at me while we sparred.
Okay.
that used to be like an old school punishment. That's like 2005 and before. That's not the thing now.
Yeah, there's a lot of different rules and stuff in the military.
With these military movies that they produce, is it a lot similar to what really goes on, or just pretty much overly exaggerated just for content?
Uh I think most of them might be exaggerated. I've never been I've never been overseas outside of the wire combat. So when it comes to that, I don't know. I don't really know
Gotcha.
if it's exaggerated or not because I've never been in I've never been in combat like that. So
Gotcha.
I would say some of it is a bit exaggerated. Um, like those guys that you see out there with like full grown beards. Only people that you're gonna see like that would be ethnic racists. You're not gonna see a white dude with like a full grown beard out there doing combat movements and stuff like that. So some of the movements, uh, looks, how they talk to like the officers or higher ranking people, yeah, that's not gonna happen.
yeah, that's definitely not.
Gotcha. So, is
It's
there anything specific you guys want to tell the public? Something that you guys think they should know about the military that they don't know?
um if you want to join, make sure whatever job you decided that you want, wait. You sometimes if you have a pushy recruiter, they'll try and get you into like another job to get you out quicker. Just wait. Just take the job you want. Don't just take any job. The take the job that you want to do. Don't settle for anything because it's a you're in that contract and you're gonna be doing that job for a minute. So make sure it's the one you want to do.
For me, I would say if you're thinking about joining the military or you're in or you're freshly in, remember the military is only 1%. So all these stigmas that they place on people in the military, it's not true. It's only 1%. I mean, the military represents 1% of the U.S. So
Mm-hmm.
that means the other 99% is they're the ones that they're talking about, not you.
Got you, got you. And how beneficial has being in the military been for you guys? And what are those benefits
financially
you got from
wise,
there?
and like it's been pretty beneficial. You know, it helped me save. It helped me like save money more. It helped me. It made me. I guess it made me more disciplined to save money and uh go back to school and start going to school again. Like mental wise though, I think
Takes a toll.
yeah, it took a huge toll on me mental wise, man. Sleep
Uh,
deprived, all of it.
yeah, it's definitely mentally exhausting.
Hmm.
Um, but for me, like I have like a love hate relationship with the military. Like I love it because the places I've been, like I never would have guessed that South Dakota would have been my favorite base, and never would have guessed it. Just all the people I met,
Hmm.
it's been fun. Um, some of the stupid stuff that we get into,
Facts.
or literally just basically just hanging out or
Yeah.
going to getting some food
And kicked
at
out
like
of hotels.
That's and
uh,
speaking about that mental thing. That's also another ignorant thing I used to think when I was young. I used to think they just brainwashed you over there. Like, nah, man, they just like brainwashing people.
it
nah.
is draining, physically and mentally. It's draining,
Yeah.
but I mean, if you find a way to push through, like the next week, it might be better, and then you're gonna have another week where, or you might have 2 weeks where it's just like
It's shit.
you're tapped out, and
Hmm.
then
But you
you
gotta
get
keep
that
on
1 or
pushing.
2 days. Yeah, you get that 1 or 2 days where it's good, so you bounce back.
Yeah.
It's
Or
just
them days
it's just
off. That's
yeah,
mainly what got me through it. It's those days off, hanging out with everybody, especially in South Dakota, man. We every single day off, we was always doing something.
So
Every single
speaking of
day off.
speaking of days off, what I'm pretty sure you said this before. Was it hard to request to go on vacation and see your family members and stuff like that? Was it hard to get those days? And
it
why?
de- it depends on the location.
Hmm.
Like here,
Location and leadership.
like here, when they tell you to put leave in 2 months early, they mean it because it will be completely booked for those 2 months. South
Mm,
Dakota, you can kind of do it like a week before, like,
Hmm.
hey, I want to take leave, and
Yeah,
they're
like
like,
a smaller. You have like a smaller base, smaller squadron. It's a little easier to get your days off. Uh,
Tyndall, they they didn't really care. They was just like, all right, what days you want? All
hmm.
right, cool. And so it really just depends on your location. And
If your leadership signs off on it fast enough.
but more importantly, a lot of people that are not, or a lot of people that's getting in the military or just um of that been in for a while will see that a lot of times you don't even have to use leave days because it's like people want you to take leave to come home or go wherever, and then you get there and they're nowhere around,
Hmm.
or they want you to travel again, and
Yeah,
it's like,
you get there and they want you to come to them. It's like I got this leave. I
right,
came
like come
out
to
here.
me, bro. Like
Yeah,
facts. Like why can't you guys just meet me in this one place? Like come on,
yeah.
I gotta do all this traveling.
yeah, or like you were trying to plan a vacation with your friends from back home, and they'll be like, "Oh no, I ain't got no money to go do this and this that and the third." And but you see them on Snapchat every night going out
Right,
buying
yeah, yeah.
buying the bottles and whatnot. And it's just like, but you want me to fly home? I
Yeah.
paid you $800-900.
Right.
Facts.
And plan a vacation or even come out here and I'll make sure you have a good time.
Okay. And now one more question, and then we go to our closed remarks. You think the military does their due diligence taking care of their members after military?
After the military, um, kind of. It depends. It depends who you have. I think. Like what? Like say it depends if you have the right VSO, which is like the veteran services, like I guess officer, I think is what it stands. It depends who you have working with you at the VA to help you get your like disability and stuff like that. As far as for me, when I was getting out, I had to do a lot of that shit on my own. Getting out, I had to do a lot of it on my own. I had like help from like one person when I was out processing, but as far as VA like disability compensation and stuff like that, man, that was all me. I had to do all of it. They didn't really. It wasn't. They weren't very helpful. You know, it was kind of like. It was kind of like when I was getting out. It was kind of like everybody was like, "Oh, you're getting out? Okay, whatever. Well, we're not even gonna worry about you anymore. We're not gonna. We're not gonna. You're not a priority. We're not gonna help you with anything." Kind of thing. It was just, dude, figure it out and have it done by this day, and that's it.
What do you think, Smalls?
Honestly, I say yes. I say yes just because they have things in place for you to be able to sustain, but also at the same time, like a lot of people will try to blame, like, hey, oh, they didn't do this for me, but it's like you're getting out, you got out, and they gave you the road or they gave you the map, you just didn't decide to take it. Like, I'm not
Gotcha.
trying to say every disabled veteran and whatnot uh, didn't like take advantage of the opportunities they have because sometimes it is hard to
It's like a long
get your VA
process.
claim. Yeah, but at the same time, like how you living on the street, like you didn't prepare for this moment,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
how you back living with your parents, or not being able to pay this bill or this, and it's like you didn't prepare for these moments at the
Yeah,
same time.
that's true. You got to
So
prepare for getting out. Save up. You got like 1 year left. Save up, and you
Yeah,
know you're getting out.
I
yeah,
feel
you
you. All
can't
right.
rely on it. You can't rely on it. You just have to prepare for it. So when it does come, you can take it, and still also have the assets that you set aside for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to tell the public before we go our closing remarks? We're all going to do after hours, and we're going to bring in another guest. So for the people that's watching the Twitch, stay by. But for everyone else, is there anything else you want to say before we do our closing remarks?
Uh, yeah. If you are planning on joining the military, uh, don't just take my experience or Tori's
Yeah,
experience. It's something
it's
that you got to do for yourself. Like
it's a
you
different
might
experience.
absolutely love it. Like
Mm-hmm.
it might be golden for you, and everybody just walks a different mile in their boots. So it's something that you got to experience for yourself.
Facts.
Gotcha.
That is facts. Yeah, it is different for everybody. Everybody has a different experience. I didn't have the best experience, so I got out. I got out.
Mm,
But some other
I
people have
kind
a
of
great experience and they stay in.
I have an okay experience.
Mm-hmm.
I just
that's
don't get. I just do stuff and not get caught, or I just stay under the radar. It's what you make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hear that. Amen to that. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning into this podcast and listening. I hope this was very informational and inciting, and hopefully you guys learned a lot of things and it was fun to listen to. We are gonna do after hours again for everybody that's watching the YouTube or listening anywhere else. We do go live each podcast on the weekend on Twitch. So follow us on Twitch. Follow us in our IG, Arab and Tory. Send us any emails. Like I said, if you guys want to talk about something or want to bring a question up about a previous podcast, you can send us to an email to
Mm-hmm.
ArabianPapi podcast@gmail.com. We have all the links in our bio. Okay. If you guys are anywhere in New York and looking for somewhere to get a massage or visit Facebook Spa, you guys won't regret it. If you're anywhere in Florida looking for some photography, shout out to Danny Dillon Photography. Look
Yep.
look
Yep.
him
Yep.
up for any kind of shoots or anything you guys need. Also, if you guys into gaming, remember Society Game is back and it's here. Sorry,
Yes,
not back, it's
sir. We
here
got a
in
tournament
full
coming up
effect. And
Monday
they do
too.
got a tournament coming up Monday, so you could tune in and watch a
$100,000
bunch of us.
tournament. Warzone
There's
tournament.
like there's a bunch of us. There's Frank, there's me, there's Tori, there's Guns, there's Rogue, there's Dietrix. There's a bunch of us there that you guys could look for us, see us play WoW, Call of Duty, all different types of games, guys. And yo, if you see this YouTube video, guys, whoever's here live, watch the YouTube video, like, subscribe, and share the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hit them with the outro,
Yeah,
Tory.
yes,
Thank you,
sir.
guys.